Olá, como vão? Tudo bem? I'd like to say that the pitch of today is going to be about what is to be a counseling. What is to be a counsel at all? A counsel is a person that represents something or somebody. It's not counseling, it's counseling. Well, what the consuls at internations represents? They represent groups. They represent groups of interests. Groups of interests in movies, in sports, in dinner, in chat, in dance, in classical music, whatever. What all that groups over the app internations. What is important to say? What I'd like to say. The main objective of this speech is to share an opinion about counseling. So let's start. Mainly, we have two types of interests. Interests that are already known about people, about themselves, by people, by themselves. So, for instance, I have already known that I like very much movies, cinema, classical music, marketing, photography, and everything else. Okay, but it was not always that way. At a time, I, let's say, didn't discover yoga, for example. And at some point of my life, I was exposed to yoga. An example, but it's true for me. I was exposed to yoga, and then I discovered that I like very much. That's very good for me. That I feel health, I benefit from that. Then I start to practice yoga. These things of leisure and hobbies start like that. It's like a click. It's like you are exposure to the fact, you are exposure to the activity, and then you like, and then you start to practice. You start to go to the place. So, what I'm trying to say, these two aspects of council of groups. First of all, council represents the interests of the groups, not people, not the company, internations, sorry, not the company internations. The council represents the interests of the group, not the people, but the interest itself. So, what are the main point of our activity in groups? First of all, we must cultivate the interests of the group. So people already know that they like movies, for instance. So let's cultivate it. Let's give them the opportunity to attend movies activities. That's what we do. But also is a point of doing what? Exposure people to new hobbies, to new interests. So how people would like or would discover that they like, or she likes or he likes yoga, let's say. Then we consuls must not be disappointed when we when we post an activity and people don't show up, let's say. Oh, but people don't show up, I'm very unhappy. Okay, no problem, no problem. What's important is to give the opportunity to people to be exposed to what? To what's going on in the city of São Paulo. Everything is going on in the city of São Paulo. So it's mainly two tasks here: to cultivate already known interests and also to motivate the people to discover new interests. This is important. Then, what I'm going to say is that let's post activities that we are interested in, consuls are interested in. Don't make it an obligation. Don't make it a do for you. So do for enjoying activities. Also, what is important to say, what I'd like to say is that let's try to organize activities that mainly people is not aware of that.